Hello, friends, and welcome to this week's Black Book COVID-19 Market Update Report. I'm Paul Machine, your host, where data and common sense come together, and I want to help you take your business to the boss level. So last week, we discussed several successful dealers who are operating at high levels and are not paying 36% more for the same vehicle they are now sourcing through alternative channels. The picture of this beautifully loaded backlot of pre-owned vehicles waiting to go through recon almost brought tears to my eyes. This inventory belongs to Germain Toyota of Naples, and Brian Kramer, the general manager, has implemented several streamlined processes to buy vehicles directly from consumers who do not buy from him. He also markets himself as a grounding dealer for all leases. He uses a portion of the 35 to 36% he doesn't have to pay in the lane and uses that to win more trade-ins and creating customers for life. In the following slides, we will discuss the limited used vehicle factory production, the available mix of used vehicles, and what you need to do to win in this market. 6 strategies that I've talked about every week. I'm going to mention them again. Appraise 100% of every service vehicle. Create a We Buy Cars portal. Put a realistic cash offer in 100% of every frontline and online trade-in. Invest in studying your reconditioning process. Partner with your local lenders and credit unions on their forbearance and possible accommodations list, and consider becoming a dedicated lease return buying facility. So wholesale prices remain strong. However, there are signs of softening in the market this week as the price of newer used vehicles seem to be hitting a ceiling, or maybe not. Car segments are at 0.75% gain this week, and it's the lowest weekly gain in 17 weeks. And truck SUV segments had another gain of 0.68. It's the lowest weekly gain in 15 weeks. The reality is we've been seeing weeks of 2-point gains. Here we had a week of just 1 point. Is the ceiling here? Please download the report at blackbook.com for insights and the specific details. Message me for Black Book partners who can source vehicles through non-traditional channels or for the data to develop your proprietary solution to address these challenges today. So the graph below looks at trends of the 2 to 6-year-old vehicles indexed to the first week of the year. Currently, wholesale prices are around 36% higher than indexed to the first of the year. We had a 1-point jump from last week to this week. Is there an end in sight? Number one question I have been asked for 3 straight weeks in a row. In my opinion, no. There will continue to be a shortage of used vehicles, as evidenced by the reduction of retail listings. From 2019, we started the year with 3.3 million. In 2020, we started the year with roughly 2.3 million used vehicles in stock. And in so far right now, we got 1.3 million used vehicles listed, a significant drop in available used vehicle inventory. So have you started developing processes to become a Bring It To Me dealer for your customers? You want to win more service trades while increasing your service ROs? To learn more, go to CBT News and listen to the interview straight to the point with Frank Lowe's. But this wholesale market is so strong that many dealers are sending their frontline ready used vehicles to the wholesale lane, to the auctions. Dr. Alex Yurchenko, the SVP of Data Science for Black Book, he said, once the new inventory levels start increasing, that's where the pressure on the used market will be relieved. He also found that there are 73 specific models of 1 to 3-year-old vehicles that are being sold at auctions where dealers buy their vehicles for prices above their original sticker, which is called the MSRP. Above the MSRP. So if you're not embracing the 6 strategies that we talked about, you might be the one guy or gal in the lane buying another dealer's frontline ready vehicle. This is our used retail listings on a weekly basis from our Retail Market Insights. I recently learned that we started 2019 with roughly 3.3 million used vehicles listed. We started 2020 with roughly 2.2 million vehicles listed. We are currently, right now, at 1.3 million used vehicles listed. Tremendous red flag. At the end of May, retail prices were more than 18%. Now those retail prices are more than 22%. Now let's compare that to a wholesale market increase of 36%. That's a lift a week over week of 1 point. That increases the deficit from 13% last week to 14% this week. We also learned from Experian that loan to values are not keeping pace with those prices. The one number I want you to keep in mind is the staggering increases of $2,173 on the amount financed from Q1 2020 to Q1 2021. We all know that 75% of the people who finance or lease are payment conscious. So how will you help your customers afford their ever increasing payments? Used vehicle leasing. Rudy El Patron Terminio, dealer principal and GM of Brooklyn Mitsubishi, is the #1 leasing dealer in the United States. Like Brian Kramer and Brian Van Stock, Rudy's using the savings from sourcing inventory through alternative channels and passing some of it on to his consumers. Connect with me for referrals to Blackboard partners who can help you or for the data to create the proprietary tools you need to succeed in this market. We did it. We finally fell below 32 days of retail listing dates to turn. Never, ever have I seen this market. I've been doing this for 30 plus years, folks, and it's an incredible opportunity if you're a enterprising, forward-thinking, ready to pivot kind of dealer. So will the heat stay high? Absolutely. I believe it will. We have a subprime tsunami that is building, and those dealers who are prepared with well-trained people that can source the right inventory, provide the right pricing for that right inventory, and have the right lenders, they will absolutely thrive in the coming market. Subprime auto lenders are preparing for delinquencies. This is a quote from Auto Finance News. The link will be attached in the video. Subprime auto lenders are preparing for an imminent rise in delinquencies and net charge-off rates as government stimulus payments come to an end. Stimulus payments have been a lifesaver for the auto finance industry, especially for the subprime lenders who service consumers that are sensitive to economic downturns. As with every tragedy, there is an incredible opportunity, and there are fintech startups such as Drivers Financial and Upstart and several others, non-traditional banks that are stepping up to answer the call to service the new breed of near-prime and subprime consumers. Do you use lenders that use alternative data and behavioral stats in addition to the credit score? How do you prepare to have the inventory needed to sell to these new consumers? And what about your staff? Are they ready? Talk about that in the next slide. So this is Retail Market Insights. This is the percent of total used sales by franchise. So as you can see, there's still tremendous opportunity out there. If we're selling between 35 and 40 million units a year between independent and franchise dealerships, estimates that analysts say for private party sales is usually 2 to 3 times that. Statistics states there's 280 million vehicles on the road today, a 1.6% increase over and above where we've been prior. That's tremendous inventory that we can access and dial into. So instead of going to the lane and paying 136% for wholesale inventory, let's use some of that money and create relationships with some of these private party people, because now we can step up and help them get the money they want to get. Just a thought. Alex Partners told Bloomberg that car companies could lose over $14 billion in the first quarter of this year and about $61 billion overall in 2021. A staggering number. Friends, the slide below, new cars, that's the used car factory that we're discussing. And looking ahead, it doesn't look so good, but it's sunny right now. So I'm going to quote Brian Benstock, dealer principal, general manager, Paragon Auto Group. You don't fix your roof when it's raining outside, so fix it now. And the red flag for you to do so is that we are showing 1.3 million retail listings in the nation today. That's down 1 million units from the beginning of the year. So let's talk about the 6 strategies. 100% appraisal of every service vehicle with a cash offer. Create a We Buy Cars portal. Put a realistic cash offer on 100% of every frontline and online trading. Invest in studying your reconditioning process. Partner with local lenders and credit unions on their forbearance list and possible accommodations list. Become a dedicated lease turn-in and buyout facility.